Hello, welcome to Rao's Corner. Today we have an important video pertaining to the teachers, the role of a teacher, or we can call it as the responsibility or duties of a teacher in the 21st century. How does a teacher cope with the students with the teaching learning process? First of all, what is a teacher or what is the definition of teacher? According to me, a teacher is a talented, educated, adorable, charming, helpful, encouraging, and responsible person. So, therefore, he is an embodiment of so many things together. We have umpteen number of definitions. He is a gardener, he is a caretaker, he is a guide, he is a philosopher, he is a motivator. Lot of things are there. But in general, what does a teacher do? He guides, he motivates, he nurtures, he creates a budding flower, a budding bud into a flower. So therefore, teacher is first of all responsible for enhancing the capacity and capabilities of a child. Whoever has been entrusted to him, he has to take care of it. We have different type of teachers: primary teacher, pre-primary teacher, primary teacher, and teachers who teach in the higher classes. The first responsibility is with the pre-primary teacher or a nursery teacher, who has to understand a child, what are the basic intricacies that are inherent in him, because a child, even the mother doesn't know how to groom him, because by trial and error only we groom him. But we have a structure when we come, somebody joins in the pre-primary class. So what are the role of a teacher there? He has to understand. So there he must be a psychologist. He should know why the child is crying, why he is laughing. Sometimes, they are very depressed. They sometimes, don't compromise. They don't, agree to what are the conditions are there, because they are very new. They leave an environment and come to a new environment, which is school, where, they start crying and how to control them. With the help of the IR, whoever is who is augmented as a specialist to support the teacher. Then, he is immensely responsible for the grooming of a child when we talk about the pre-primary teacher. So once the lesson starts, teacher should understand what are the inherent talent of a child, what is his aptitude. He must be an expert. So that's why we have the training courses like B.Ed, M.Ed and all these courses. These courses only is not only to acquire a degree by passing the examinations, but a real teacher is one who understands a child, who knows what are the intricacies, what are the inherent things that are embodied in a particular child, how to tap it out and how to throw it out onto the screen. He must be of such a valuable person. So how to get it? So what are our responsibilities? What are the role of a teacher? He must be responsible for the teaching learning process. Number one, he must understand a child. He must be a learner also. See, learning is a continuous process. See, we were teachers in the past. We had a different type of structure, different type of teaching methodologies. Now, when we come to the 21st century, the teaching learning process has completely undergone drastic change. Now we have what we call e-learning, A learning, B learning, C learning, lot of learnings have come. And all these things, a teacher needs to be very functional. He should have appropriate knowledge about how to implement those techniques to implement the teaching learning process. Even a child is abreast of us. He is ahead of us now. See, when we come to the classroom, suppose the teacher teaches, the child says, yes sir, I already know it. I have seen the internet. I have seen the Google. So therefore, one need to understand, one need to always continuously be in a process of learning. So therefore, the third responsibility is he must be a learner and see that he is ahead of the teacher. And he must always have an understanding about the environment, and he must be always a guide, a philosopher. He must experiment, and he should always nurture the creativity of a child. So now we are in the 21st century. Just like the teachers must be alert, the students also have to learn the right things at the right time, at the right place. Something new. The 21st century, the student is in a competitive world. He has to face a lot of challenges. He has to fight it out. Therefore, but teacher has got the responsibility, and along with that, the management also should support and provide facilities to create such a kind of teaching learning environment where the teacher can use the aids and all. So first of all, a teacher should know what is the learning process, in what way I can best teach, and what way I can best make my child to be efficient and purposeful and perfect. Ultimately, the teaching learning process is that one which is concerned about the goal is to make a child completely abreast of the latest knowledge that is available at the disposal. So therefore, teacher needs to learn, he has to implement those things. Then he must be a good planner. We have set of 40 students in a class. Each of the students are different. The learning process are also different. So we have to see what is the best possible module for each of them. It is a very difficult task, but as a teacher, we must know what is the way of teaching to a particular child. And added to that, we have problems of dyslexia and all those things. With all these things, a teacher has to be a learner. He must be a psychologist also. He should know what is the because we have spent our childhood. We have gone to the schools. We have seen, and we know very well what is the peer group psychology and all. Therefore, those things can be very well used when you are teaching in the classroom. So this is also very, very important. So therefore, we have to be very perfect. And these are all the basic things that one has to know when you go into the classroom. And so these are the important role. And more important thing is nothing can be achieved without discipline. So a teacher must be very disciplined and duty bound. He must be very punctual. He must be perfect, visiting in time, correct time. He must be 5 minutes ahead of the students inside the classroom. It is not that once the students go, then you go to because